Take your mind into the wonderful world of physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kennetic Hour. Conversations with you and guests. With your host, Kenan Wesley Mason. That's me. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Kennetic Hour. I am your host, Kenan Wesley Mason. Welcome all, welcome one, and welcome all to the Kennetic Hour as we are streaming live on Facebook, streaming live on Instagram, and streaming live on LinkedIn. So I love doing these simulcasting broadcasts, so I get to get the word out to as many people as possible. So thank you for tuning in to the Kennetic Hour. As always, go to my YouTube channels and subscribe. Go to this one right here, the Kennetic Hour, and that's Kennetic, Kennetic. And go to my other YouTube channel, which is Kennetic Fit and Wellness Info, Kennetic Fit and Wellness Info at Kennetic Fit. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button, click thumbs up, and leave your comments and tell everyone you know to watch the Kennetic Hour, as I'm doing my best to bring you the best in internet talk. My guest this week, he was just here a couple of weeks ago, and he's back again. This is Super Bowl weekend, and we got a lot to talk about. Once again, AFL Hall of Famer. He's done a whole lot. I just like to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Big Truck, to the Kennetic Hour.
To all my kings and queens out there.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Kennetic Hour. A lot's been going on, as I see you have your mimosa, and yes. I have my glass of wine right here, so we can really get into some conversation. And as people are tuning in, it's still fairly early here on the West Coast.
Yes, it is.
So as people are coming in, tell everyone that you know to tune into the Kennetic Hour. I want to talk about a few things, actually, and we can get into some in-depth conversation as far as you allow the conversation to go. The first thing I want to talk about is yesterday, there was an unveiling, as I put this up on the screen here. Because last night, because both of us are here from Los Angeles, and I'm not going to play the audio of this, but I am going to play the video. As you see, Vanessa Bryant here. This is the unveiling of the Kobe Bryant statue that's sitting now in front of the what's now called the Crypto.com arena, and as it's no longer called the Staples Center, as most people that are true Kobe Bryant fans, they know that Kobe's house was not the Crypto Arena, it was the Staples Center. And there you see him right there. There's all his teammates and the commissioners and everyone paying their respects and accolades to the late, great Kobe Bryant. I think that's his father right there. And it was just a great ceremony. I didn't get to watch it live, but it's been the talk of Los Angeles. What do you? What's your take on that unveiling there? Because a lot of people are still having adverse reactions to the relationship or marriage between Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant. I thought it was a beautiful ceremony.
First off, I just want to humbly thank you for blessing me in your presence and creating a peaceful atmosphere for fruitful grown man conversation. I want to thank you for that. My take on the Kobe statue, it's good for the city of LA, the things that he has done for the city, for the, for the organization. So it's a good way to give back, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our gratitude by blessing the people of LA with this statue, remembering what Kobe has done on the court and off the court. A lot of that plays a factor, So it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing, that statue. Yes, it should go in front of, what is now Crypto Center. It will always be Staples Center, but it's a good place for it. That's a good place for it. There shouldn't be no ill feelings about it. But of course, we live in a time where the truth can be put out there, but most don't want to hear the truth or receive what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people it's going to be what it's going to be, regardless of what you say. Your opinions may not hold no weight, but in this here, it's a beautiful thing. And, Kobe, was always missed. He was a great, amazing talent. Some say, was he better than Jordan or better than LeBron? Look, everybody's different in their own way, period. Kobe had his own style. LeBron has his own style. Michael Jordan had his own style. Allen Iverson had his own style. Mm-hmm. A lot of these greats have their own style, which allowed them to go to the top and exceed. There's no one that's better. There's no one that's greater than the other. Everyone is different from generation to generation and sport to sport. Every individual is different in their own way.
Yep. Yeah. I got to see Kobe play a few times during one of the playoff years. Oh gosh, we're talking about maybe 2008, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to a couple of the playoff games, and just watching Kobe play, it was definitely a spectacle. It was definitely a spectacle and something that I'll always remember. Just watching him do him. Mm-hmm. Just watching him do him. So I thought it was a great ceremony. Some people were talking about the statue and why was that statue chosen? He has number 8, but he doesn't have the afro. Where's the Afrocentric Kobe? He's wearing number 8, but where's the afro? That specific statue pose was something that he chose before his passing. which was the night that he scored 81 points, which
That
is,
number one.
yeah, yeah. And so that's why that statue is the way that it is, or was made the way it is. I think it's 19 feet tall, and I think they said it's about 4,000 pounds. So whoever sculpted that statue took some great time to give it that type of detail. And
Yeah,
so I thought it was a great ceremony.
most definitely.
And so kudos to Vanessa for still, after his passing and after all the controversy and after all the talk, and does she really love Kobe and all this? I think it's been proven over and over and over again where her loyalty lies as far as their marriage is concerned.
But here's the thing here.
Yep.
Interject.
Yeah.
Humbly. It's none of our business.
Yeah.
What their marriage was or what took place in their household.
Yeah.
We don't live with them. So again, when it comes to one's opinions, my question is, it doesn't matter about did Vanessa love Kobe. My question would be, do you love you?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you love yourself? You can love Kobe. You don't have to like Vanessa. Do you love yourself?
What they did in their household and in their marriage, that's them. Sometimes some folk just need to fall back and stay in their lane.
Mm-hmm.
Stop lane switching.
Yep. Yeah. Lane switching. I like that. Stop lane switching. And on that note, I'm going to switch over to another topic.
Okay.
Because you asked me about this last night, and which is another thing that has gotten a lot of feedback over social media over the last couple of days. And this is going to the entertainment world just for a few minutes.
Let's get it.
Because once again, Shannon Sharp has done it again.
And he ain't done.
Right. Because he had comedian and Academy Award winner Monique on his show a couple of days back. Okay. And that has stirred up controversy. It seems like when people go on this show with starring Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay, people start talking. And the one thing that I got out of it, and I haven't watched all 3 hours, I've gotten through maybe the first half.
Okay.
But the one thing that I've seen other clips, here and there, but the one thing that I got out of it thus far is the fact that she talked about people talking down on the messenger versus listening to the message. Down talking the messenger versus listening to the message. I remember Chris Rock did a comedy special a long time ago called Kill the Messenger. Because it appears that no matter how much truth you bring to the table, it's always going to be looked upon as kill the messenger. Because the messenger, how dare the messenger bring truth and put it on the table?
How dare you speak your truth? How
right.
dare you use wisdom? How dare you use common sense?
Yeah.
How dare you choose your words wisely? Ain't that about a... Go ahead.
Right. And so my whole thing is, when I do this show, when when I do this show, when I have guests on this show, when I have when I did the Aim to Purpose show with my mom, uh, we were about truth telling, truth telling,
Shout out to
uh,
moms. I love you, mom.
not
Yeah.
not fables, not bringing half truths. No, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And many times, as we have been seeing since the beginning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
uh, truth strikes nerves within
Mm.
people. Truth strikes nerves. And obviously, truth has plucked a few nerves with many people within the entertainment industry
Oh
by
yes, it
way
has.
by way of whether it's Cat Williams or whether in this case Monique, as great as she is, bringing truth to the table, um,
Mm.
and not only bringing truth but calling out names
Mm-hmm.
and being very specific about who this truth is about. Not saying they and them and keeping it so general and broadband. No,
Right.
we gonna bring it close to home.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna bring it close
Mm-hmm.
to home, and we're gonna talk about this person specifically, so people can know exactly who I'm talking about and why I'm talking about them specifically.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So what is your take on the fact that we here in a social media era love going after the messenger versus uh, opening our ears up and listening to the message?
Well, that's like what I talk about at the King's table, bringing light to dark places. As long as you're not speaking your truth, it's okay. But the moment you speak your truth, folk always gonna have something to say. You know, when so much negative has been put out there on certain individuals, they don't want to hear about the positive, the good things that certain individuals do. I can't say all, so I say certain individuals, you know. And when you have receipts and you call that thing out, you got to call that thing out. Just like, for example, my marriage, got to call that thing out. Now it's sad because it. I mean, we'll chime into that later, and when we watch more of the clips from Monique's interview, I'll bring that back. But overall, when I started speaking my truth, some disagreed. But when I started breaking it down, look, a lot of times we have to go back and peel off layers from our past. We have to go back into our childhood. And sometimes it hurts, scared, whatever the case may be, whatever those emotions are at that particular time. But when a person calls that thing out and say, you suffer from childhood trauma, you see, you suffer from those issues, those past issues, those childhood issues, whatever it may be, is the reason why you behave the way you behave. Then they get upset. Why? I just spoke the truth. All I said was you have some childhood issues, or you have some issues within your past that you have not dealt with, and it showed up in your love life. That's all I said. You need to get help. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to speak on that. No, the devil was a lie and his mama too. We're going to call that thing out. And that's the difference. A real friend, real people are going to call certain things out. Fake people are going to say nothing and stay silent,
Yeah.
and just back you up no matter what. Even if you're wrong, I got to support you no matter what. No, no, you don't. You don't get the chance to walk in and have whatever you want and get whatever you want. The world don't work that way. Most are not going to get what they want. You're just going to be in a place where you're wishing. And that's all you're going to be, is a wish. Until you humble yourself, until you look within. That's why I always say you got to have a meeting with yourself. If you're not willing to have a meeting with yourself and take some damn responsibility, you're going to be between a pimp and a hard place every day. And the wall's going to win all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of relationships, another controversy in that specific interview was the fact that it appears that people start in the industry, people in the industry start to take a couple of steps back when they see a woman, in this case, a Black woman, negotiate business dealings with her husband by her side. Now, a lot of people have said, wait a minute, why does she have her husband at the negotiation table? Why does he have to be so present so often? Why is he speaking on behalf of Monique as if her husband is not supposed to be there? Now, keep in mind, her husband is her manager. Her husband is her manager. So if we're making negotiations on what what next character that I'm going to play next, or what next show that I'm going to do at the next arena or the next comedy club, the husband is there to make sure that all negotiations are on the up and up, and they're going to work in my wife's favor.
Woo, okay, I've been waiting for this one. Some mimosa.
Yes. Because because I always looked at it as and Monique has been talking this for a long time.
Here's the thing. Oh, go. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. No.
No. Just to finish up, and then you have the floor. Her again being not only just the woman in the industry, but not only just the Black woman, no, not just that, but the overweight, or as she would call it, the fat Black woman. How dare she bring her husband to the negotiation table? What you got to say?
Who in the blue hell face are you? Shame on you for having a strong Black man by your side. Shame on you for having a man that uses wisdom. Shame on you for 50-50 teamwork. Shame on you for having him there, negotiating. Both of you huddling up, coming with a solution, addressing it. Shame on you for having a husband that has your back and love you. Because a large number of these women never been in the presence of a man. A large number of these women have a lot of daddy issues and childhood trauma because it shows in their behavior. A large number of women don't know what it's like to have something to bring to the table. And don't see, this is what 50-50 look like. This is what teamwork look like. And at the end of the day, and I know this I know this interview is going to go viral. It works in their marriage, and they're both happy. Monique is in love. It's obvious her husband is in love. Simone Biles is in love. Jonathan is in love. Okay. So once again, a large number of women don't know what it's like to be in the presence of a man and what it means to submit to each other. Like the Bible says, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, but also too, she who finds a husband finds a good thing. So what am I saying? Two good people will find each other when they come together. And that's what we're seeing. And that's why I use the terminology dehydrated modern feminist pirates. Because real women would understand where Monique is coming from. Real women will agree with where Monique is at. Yes, her husband is her manager. He has a right to say so. Even if he wasn't her manager, he still has a say so because that's her husband.
Yeah.
I'm going to huddle up with my significant other and we're going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're going to come to an agreement. And once we come to an agreement, then we're going to go to the producers. Last time that I checked. Next, please.
You mentioned the word. You mentioned a word that, again, we're talking about plucking nerves. When you say the word submission for many women, it kind of plucks the nerve because of the long history that word kind of the context of that word. It frightens many women because it takes them back. It takes them back to such a negative place in history.
Right.
So when a woman hears the term submission, it's almost like a turnoff. Now, why do you choose to use that word in the context that you do?
Because when it comes to submission, think about it. I'm gonna come this way with it. A real man, well, men don't have a problem with the word submission. A good woman wouldn't have a problem with that word submission because she understands. I submit to my man submit to me. We submit to each other. But for those that do have a problem with it, when you look at the type of person, look at the character of that woman that has a problem with the word submission. I believe that's the best way to put it. Look at her character. Because a good woman wouldn't have a problem with that word submission. Because she would already know what that means and know. It's almost like if I'm working all day at work It almost comes down to fixing your man a plate. Are you gonna fix your kids a plate first before you, and then your husband, or fix your husband a plate and then your children? One woman said, "I would fix my husband a plate first. We already know my kids gonna eat, but I know my husband goes to work. He's working all day. He coming home, he tired. I'm gonna make sure his plate is ready for him. I'm gonna go a step further. It's not about fixing your man a plate or your children a plate. I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna raise the bar. We're gonna have a family meal at the house. We all gonna sit at the dinner table and eat together. How about that? The woman eats first, the man eats first, the kids eat first. We all gonna eat at the same time. How about that?"
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
That's rare these days.
But when it comes to submission, a real person wouldn't have a problem with that word submission. Only a modern feminist pirate would. Because real people say and do real things.
Yeah.
Fake people say and do fake things.
Yeah. I mean, in any relationship, there has to be some kind of common ground to where both parties have a mutual agreement on how this party is gonna go.
And when you listen to somebody like Prince Silla, the Queen Maker, and Sprinkle Sprinkle, you're heading for disaster. But I get it. I respect their game because they target a certain audience. It's all about playing the role. Think about it. Sprinkle Sprinkle. Everything that she talks about on her content, she's the total opposite at home. Very submissive, loving with her husband. You see what I'm saying? Princella, I'm teaching the women how to be. Everything that you putting out there, you the total opposite at home. You still legally married, and you still sleep with men. Stop it. You don't hate men, but once again, it's the image. When you put that certain image out there, you're going to gravitate to certain people. And you look at the type of women that gravitate to them two women. Because if you notice, a good woman, a true woman that knows her self-worth, will call those two pirates out and wouldn't even follow them. That's why I use the term dumb smart.
Yeah.
If you listen to Princella talk, you can tell you're using all these big fancy words. You just dumb smart. All you gotta do is pay attention and listen. You'd be like, I can tell you broken. Sprinkle, sprinkle lady. You broken. You selling the image. So when we talk about how social media is, you can sell an image on social media and gain certain audiences. And then when you have certain women that listen, that follow these women and follow their advice and wonder why they hit that wall in their relationships. Shout out to Passport Bros. But wonder why a large number of men are not checking for them. And this is what we're seeing now. We're seeing a dynamic shift. Okay? Men are talking. Men are having conversations at the water cooler. They're having conversations on the sideline. They're having conversations in the locker room. They're having conversations. They're talking. You know, they're sharing information. You see, they're putting each other up on game. Mm-hmm. Hey, you want to have a passport? Go overseas, do your thing. And I want to make this very, very clear. You have some individuals that take their passport and go overseas and have a good time. Because I saw a clip of a woman down in Passport Bros. All 8 got deleted, in the DR. Whoa, wait a minute. Don't put everybody in the same boat. Now, you do got some that go overseas that look for wives. Those are 2 different things. Looking for a wife and having fun, those are 2 different things. But yet, you got some women that want to go to my hometown in Jamaica and show your ass. You doing the same thing. Like I said, truth is going to be said. We're going to talk about it. If you're going to gun for men, we're going to gun for you. Passport Bros was never making videos about women. A large number of women was lane shifting and shifted their ass in men conversation. But the behavior and the character of which a large number of women behave, they shoot themselves in the foot. And this is the reason why a large number of men go on their own way. You even have women that are married that agree. Go ahead and go your own way, my brother. If you got a passport, go overseas. Oh, going overseas, messing with women that don't speak no English, messing with they take it to a whole nother level. Like men going over there messing with little girls. Just taking it way out of proportion. Now, here's the flip side of that. The more these large number of modern feminist pirates want to bash passport bros, that's just gonna make them go and do it more. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be, regardless of your opinion. Because a man can sit here in the States and get drugged through the mud. But a man can go overseas and be treated like a king. A wife that is submissive. She's submissive to him and he is submissive to her.
Yeah.
See, you don't talk about that part.
It's not a one-sided issue.
No, you got some men that are submissive too. So at the end of the day, a large number of women need to look at themselves. You need to take a real good look at yourself and take that accountability. The sisterhood, there's a downfall, and those doors are closing. Sisterhood, my ass.
Yeah, there is a sisterhood on social media of women that are speaking on relationships like the people you just mentioned, the 2 individuals that you mentioned, who I had never heard of until you brought them to my attention. But there are a large number of women that are speaking about men on those terms. And we do see who their audience is. You're only going to attract people that are similar to you most of the time.
Yeah.
And also, if they're this way on camera, but they're a totally different way at home, then yeah, you tricking your audience. But it's and some people do it for the likes, for the followings, for the subscribers, which is fine. Like you said, everybody has their lane, and they're gonna go and try to make that lane and take it as far as they can take it. But again, when it comes to relationships or marriage, in this case, you've been married, so you've been down that road, and you have the total experience of not only marriage, but you've had the experience of divorce as well.
I think I'm going to cut you off, but
yeah.
I have to get this out because I got a lot of things in my spirit to say.
Yep.
That what I've learned was that, having unfinished business. And one thing that my ex-wife did teach me was not only accountability or not only running from yourself, because you have some people that are good track runners, that are good sprinters. And I use the analogy of track and field. They're good sprinters. They run, they run, they run. And it comes to a point where you have to stop running. You got to stop running sooner or later. And it did teach me how to be a better person. And the more I looked at it, it's like, wow. After being angry and going through all those emotions, I started feeling bad, like feeling sorry for her, because this is a woman here that has childhood experiences, childhood trauma, and she ran from it. She ran from her childhood and didn't face it. So yeah.
I think Bob Marley said it best. You running away and you're running away and you're running away, but you can't run away from yourself.